buy at Otaku ME. This is one of the best shops you'll find in the Middle East. Of course, scale modeling in the Middle East, very difficult to find shops. They have got everything. Loads of Gundam, of course, military models, ships, airplanes, everything. I've bought a load of stuff. We're going to review these, and I'm going to show you around the shop.
Pwede gawin pa lang maganda. Kahit saan yan. May photo kits ka lang. Baka plastic lang. Siyempre po kami. Mag-aasyan.
Ayun, ayun, ayun. Parang galit eh. Oh, pakain mo sa kanya. Parang iba yan eh na. Pakain mo sa kanya. Parang hindi ako kain. Special.
Finally, the hobby shop, just DK. A little bit difficult, more difficult to find than the other one, but let's have a look at this one. M02. There's a few less kits here, but I'll tell you what, look at this. It's got every single, okay, you've got your Gundam markers there. Look at this, it's like a Vallejo cave. You've got a full range of all the model colours. Game colours, washes, metal colours, the pigments, the weathering effects. Every single one of the Vallejo colours. Panzer Aces as well. I think they've got a model there as well. So this is a good place to get paints, definitely, and also there are the Trumpeteer kits outside. So this Just DK gets a thumbs up from me. We'll go and choose some paints and bits and pieces. Very small shop, but pretty good. So guys, whilst in Dubai and visiting that hobby shop, I decided to purchase this kit from Tamiya. It's not a new release, it's been out for a little while. It is a French pre-Second World War tank called a Somua S35. A couple of reasons why I chose this kit, but I'll go into that later on. Let's just open up the box and see what we get inside. Quite a smallish box, nice bit of packaging. First of all, the instruction pamphlet by Tamiya. Then a fold-out painting guide and some history. The sprues are such. One sprue with the upper hull and also the polycaps and chains. This sprue with the turret and the figure. One sprue with the side skirts and the vision optics in clear parts. Two sprues like so, which are basically the suspension components. A bag of track links, individual track links. And finally, the decal set. Let's go and have a look at the sprues in detail now. Okay, we're looking at the largest of the sprues, Sprue B. These details are the sort of side runner suspension mounts. You can see there's a great amount of detail there. All these flanges and bolt details. Everything is really nicely rendered. This is the front underglasses plate here. You'll see throughout that there's quite a bit of texture on here. And let's have a look at the upper hull, which is just one big piece. All these facets here, obviously, where they put on detail. Note the hatches already in situ here, with the handles in place. Again, this cast texture. This is a cast steel tank. Look at the bolts there, recessed. This is the lower hull. Again, one big piece. And they've retained the cast texture throughout on this part as well, with some great detail. Final point to look at are these radiator or air intake louvers, which are sufficiently detailed, let's say. Just flick that over. I did note this here and here. It's as if they perhaps were going to put in some sort of weight or something. I'm not too sure. Can't work out why they had them. Okay. Next sprue. This is duplicated, so there's two sprues the same. Just go through, look at these hollowed out road wheels. Detail's great throughout. All the bolt detail. They've got the straps are sort of moulded on here. All that detail again. There's the tow hook. Yes, they had leaf spring suspension. And here's a good, there's the manufacturer's plate there, Somua, which you'll see on the front of the hull. Just look at these drive sprockets. Typical Tamiya quality, nothing is amiss. Next sprue. These are the sort of covers for the suspension. Again, all this fine detail throughout. All these bolt heads. There's one of the armoured covers, both of them. They've got the cast texture on again. Just to note, these ones here, these are like plates, steel plates without the texture. And then other components, such as these armoured covers, have got the cast texture. Oh, it's prayer time here in Dubai, so I think you're going to hear the call for prayer, so I'm going to pause the video at this point. This is the final large sprue with the turret on it. The turret's in two parts, a lower and an upper. Again, this rather nice cast texture is used throughout, and on the rear hatch there's the gun mantlet just there, and this is the machine gun cover. There is a 37mm cannon, and this is one-piece moulding with a hollowed out end. Armoured cupola, and on this sprue as well we've got the tank commander. This looks like a electrical insulator. It's the mount for the radio aerial, and this is a tarpaulin. Tarpaulin is detailed. Just show you, this is the bulk of it, and then here are the two ends, which have got some quite nice detail, paint up quite nice. Commander figures acceptable for a plastic kit, but if you use him, bear in mind there is no interior to this kit. These Pioneer tools, pretty straightforward. The smaller sprue contains transparent parts which are some taillights, optics, and also the front headlight. This bag contains the decals. And they're all nice and clear. Very colourful, these French Second World War tanks. You can see that they used playing card symbols to denote the different tank platoons. I'll look at the markings in a bit. That's one of the reasons I bought this kit. I always want to get the Shah B1S, and I never got it. And it had some features that I liked. And I'm glad to say they included a real metal chain within this kit. And also, these are the track links, which look nightmarish. But I wanted to see how they got together, as they're meant to just click, snap together. So we'll see how that works out for us. Let's have a look at the instructions and bits and pieces now. Okay, I thought I'd start off with this pamphlet, which I like these kits. I like the way Tamiya produced the full colour profiles, left, right, on the top view, rear and back. So there's no question about how the camouflage is on different aspects of the vehicle. It's fully covered. Also we have the unit. It's number 56, 18th Dragoon Regiment, and the colours, there's only 3 colours that are advised for this French camouflage: red, brown, olive green and sky. And because it's Tamiya, you will only get the paint reference in the Tamiya colours. Second marking looks a little bit more challenging. It's number 42 of the 13th Dragoon Regiment. This one's marked out with the diamonds. I like that pattern on that turret, looks really interesting. Final marking options is number 20 of the 4th Cuirassier Regiment. And this one has an additional colour. It's got a light blue, which is just there on the top of that armoured cupola. It's great to see that really nicely laid out painting instructions. And there's some information there about the Somua S35, when it was manufactured. And it tells you a little bit about that. And as a bonus, here's the real deal. And it's courtesy of Musée des Blinds de Samoa, the Samoa Armour Museum, which I have not been to yet. Now we've got Japanese language, and then a layout here, which tells you some of the features of the tank, with its 7.5, with its armament 7.5mm MG, and the 47mm cannon. I think I said the wrong diameter before. And if you want to read about it, it's in Japanese, German, French and English. Nice touch. I like to see a bit of history of these vehicles. It's even got the specification here. It's only 19.5 tons. The final part of the review are the instructions and the de facto Tamiya instructions. Show you the box art, some cautions, and here's the paint call outs, all for the Tamiya paints, but they have got a description of what they are, so don't worry about that. And then the tools that are recommended, which are side cutters, pliers, modeling knife, blah 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 blah. And right at the start, you must choose your option A, B, or C, because there'll be some slight difference that we'll point out later on. So assembly just starts with this lower side panels. The next step, we're already constructing up the hull with that front under glasses going on. Note there's a lot of call outs for holes that need to be drilled into various parts. Then we're assembling the bogies and the drive sprockets. There's the rear road wheels, and then everything goes on. Note a lot of call outs are do not glue, as if this is meant to be fully functional. That's why we've got the poly cap fitted there. Stage 7, everything's going onto the lower hull with this idler. Then there's some poly caps getting fitted on here. Then the side armor plates go on to cover up the running gear. Stage 10 is details. Then we're working on the rear plate. And here's the tracks. It says use 102 links for each side, and they are supposed to snap together. So we're going to test that theory, because I think I've got some time in which I can build this up. And now we're looking at the upper hull, and first thing it's doing is cutting off all these little extra pieces, and maybe some holes to drill. Yes, holes to drill, pointed out there. Then we detail up the upper hull. The engine covers go on, and these side panels here. And then the upper hull, you can see it's typical Tamiya, as in it snaps into the front, and then it also has the poly cap arrangement, so you can, in theory, take it on and off. I am pretty sure the reason they do that is because they motorize and put radio controls into some of their tanks, and having that means that you can put batteries in and out. Some more details go on the hull by this stage, like all these side panniers, pioneer tools, rear exhausts. I'm trying to find the difference between A, B and C, but I can't. Ah, here we are, here's one. A and B have got one tow hook, and C has got a different style. And here's the chain. The chain, to put that on, you have to actually, well, first of all, you need to get the chain to the right length. You need two pieces that are exactly 60mm long, as per that. And then you need to break the piece of plastic to thread that link through. And then I like this configuration, looks cool, with this chain here for the recovery wire. Here's that antenna. Then we move on to the hull with that one-piece barrel, the armoured cupola. Note that there's no breech detail at all for this gun. There's no interior detail for the cupola, nothing. And then it will give you the option, do you want your hatch open or closed? If you have it open, and you'll see inside there's no detail whatsoever, but you can pose the figure like so, if you like your crewman. Then the final point is just putting on the turret, which is obviously just a push on fit. That is everything. I am going to try and build this up, so I'll be back to you in a bit to see how this is going.
I'm going for a whole bunch of different emotions that sometimes are counterintuitive to each other. And part of that is part of what I'm trying to do is look for the guy she goes out with. This guy's got real estate. Yeah.
What about